at full speed, she is very pitch sensitive.
Got the Radiolink D460. One of those little, kind of a self-contained unit. Got a receiver, batteries, charger, the whole thing. Similar to that Radiolink SU27 I had. This one, similar to that one, it has a 4-kilometer range. Not sure I'll be testing that. 30-minute flight time, 3 flight modes, probably the stabilization, nothing, and then kind of that optimized self-leveling mode. So this also has the Bluetooth compatible transmitter, so we can make changes to it like I needed to do for the SU27. Let's see what we got here in the package. Make sure I open it up the right way. Stick my hand in there and feel that. Okay, here we go. All right, what do we got here? Come on, get out of there. Here we go. Okay, here's what we got. Instructions. Got a piece. It looked like came off of that wing right there. We'll use a little foam tack and glue that back on. Would assume this is EPO foam, but I'm not positive, so foam tack will be the appropriate product for that. One of these little gaming systems here. I do know, though, that this will connect Bluetooth, so if we need to make changes on its flight controls, we can do that with the app. It's a peculiar little thing. Looks pretty simple, super lightweight. Got one of the prop saver systems on it. Assuming this easily just pops into place, which it does. Nice. Got some parts here, prop savers. There is the vertical tail section, charger, props. It is nice that they come with some pieces and parts. Props, cables, spare parts, a lot of spare parts. Nice. Okay, we got 2 batteries. These are 800 milliwatt, 2S batteries. I'm going to charge these up and check everything out. We'll put it all together. It seems pretty simple. Okay, all unboxed. Here's what we're going to do. In order to go fly, need to assemble. Assembly is pretty simple. Slide that into there. That's it. There's a couple magnets, clicks into place, and stays in place. You know, friction fit pretty well. Now we got a prop. Here's the thing with the props. If you look at the prop, you'll see there's writing on it. Writing faces forward, okay? A lot of times people say the plane doesn't have enough power. Well, it's because the prop's on backwards. So if you think about it, right here is the prop is correct. Here, the prop is reversed. It's still going to provide thrust. It's just not very efficient, okay? So when you put this on, you've got this little mechanism here which is going to hold that O-ring on. All right, so I'm going to put that right there. Hope it stays in place. I'm going to put this underneath, flip this over the top, and that's it. Test it, kind of move it back and forth, and that's it. That's on. If you have a hard time putting that O-ring, looping it over, and getting it to attach to here, sometimes a dowel rod or something like that can help flip that over. Try not to use a screwdriver or a chunk of metal. Dowel rod would be better. All right, she's all assembled. Now let's get her bound up to the radio and ready to fly. So you're going to go to the field and do this, I would assume. So first thing we're going to do is turn on our radio. Next thing we're going to do is install the battery, and we're going to put it in place first before we plug it in. Push it. I'm going to push it all the way forward. Now, the documentation says when you first start it, you should lift this nose up at about they say around 20 degrees. But that's up to you. changes, does stuff with the gyro. I'm going to leave it flat for now just to show. Well, or I'll do that. Doesn't matter. I'm going to plug this thing in, and it's going to make a beepy sound, and then the control surface will make a move. That means that it's now ready to go. If you pick it up, plug it in, and you're walking around with it and shaking it, the gyro is not going to calibrate. It's never going to get to that point where the control surfaces are working. Okay, so just a word of, just a comment. Happens a lot with a lot of the gyros. If you don't let the plane sit and cycle through and calibrate the gyro, it's never going to go into basically fly mode. All right. Put those down like that. This hooks on with magnets, and it's pretty strong. There it is. You're ready to go. Underneath, we've got little protectors for that, but none for that. So make sure these are tight. As far as the little grub screws, not grub screws, these have just a Phillips screw head. Make sure those are tight. Got a little grippy place to hand launch, and you're on your way. And in order to check the gyro, gotta put it in this mode, which means the prop is hot. So careful. But I can tell by moving the control surface that it's in stabilized mode, right? It's because the control surface stays in a position. And that's all the way down. I'm gonna go into middle, which means the gyro is just assisting for wind and such. It allows you to do rolls, loops, all the fun maneuvers in that middle position. All the way to the top, there's nothing, which I don't know why I would fly in that mode ever. So typically you're going to launch in stabilized mode all the way down, get it stable, and then flip the switch in the middle if you want to do loops and rolls. If all you want to do is fly around nice and gentle, and when you let off the sticks, it stabilizes and flies straight, keep it in stabilized mode, which is the one on the bottom. So that's it for how the gyro works. Before you fly, you really need to add Expo to the transmitter. It's pretty simple to do. Download the app, the Radiolink app, directions on how to do that. Do it in your phone, whichever phone, doesn't matter. Turn the transmitter on, select that app. It's going to go through and find your transmitter. And the screen's going to look like this. Hit one of the trim buttons before you do anything. All right, what we want to do is change in program mix. When you click that, you're going to go to DR curve. You're going to go to each channel, channel 1 and channel 2, and you're going to change the Expo. I changed the Expo to 100%. All right, and that seemed to calm the plane down quite a bit as far as make it a little bit more easier to fly and less sensitive. So go through that process and then write, which will then write that back to the transmitter, and then you are back in business.
All right, let's get this guy up for another flight. I made some adjustments to the transmitter to reduce the overall travel and gave a little Expo. Let's see how she works. She's still pretty sensitive. This is in stabilized mode. Easy flying in stabilized mode. I just put it in regular mode. And she needs a little trim down. Needs a little more trim down. A zippy little thing. And put it in basically stabilized mode and just here, throttle off and bring her in. You know, a lot of fun to play with just cruising around in stabilized mode. Just an easy plane to fly. Zippy enough. Wants to climb. All right, we got it in regular gyro mode, not stabilized, so it will have a little bit more aerobatic capabilities. Fine with loops, rolls, turns on a dime. It's fun. It's a fun little plane. Let's cruise by nice and easy, slowing down. Adjusting the travel helped a little bit, I think, making it just a little bit more maneuverable or more stable for me to fly it. And it's got the prop saver. If you pile it in, this thing's going to be pretty tough. It's a zippy little thing. At full speed, she is very pitch sensitive. All right, let's bring her in for a landing. Wind's coming from my left, and I'm just gonna bring her in right behind me here. No problem.
Welcome back to the shop. Let's summarize real quick. First, let's just talk about the plane itself, you know, the unboxing and all that. Clearly the shape is different. There's no doubt about it. It's different. However, this shape allows it to fly incredibly stable, incredibly slow. You get high alpha in stabilized mode, which is kind of fun to do, and just kind of cruise around nice and easy and slow. Only problem I had was these fins got kind of damaged in shipping. Used foam tack. You could use whatever kind of, you know, foam safe contact cement. Probably CA would work too, but just glued those back on. That wasn't a problem. Everything went together easy. You got several props, you know, so several props and a lot of O-rings to put those back on in case when you land it, you pop one off. It's easy to fix. So from that standpoint, it's a simple plane. Everything comes with it. I did not test the 30-minute flight time or the 4-kilometer range. Just didn't get around to testing it. Flight-wise, time-wise, though, it flew for quite a while. I didn't check all the timing, but you know, those two batteries are going to, you know, keep you in the air for quite a long time. From a flight performance perspective, like I said, the profile, the design of this plane, it flies incredibly slow. High alpha in stabilized mode after you make the changes to the transmitter, which is really important. It will fly slow and steady, and from a beginner perspective, I think it would be just great. Power-wise, it's got plenty of power. There's no lack of power on this thing. So you put in the other modes or even stabilized mode and punch that throttle, it's going to scoop pretty good. I was having some issues with the way the gyro was being calibrated, and sometimes it would want to climb, which is pretty normal for this kind of stuff, but you can trim that out however you see fit. So from a flying perspective of slow and or aerobatics, big loops, flip-flops, won't flat spin or anything cool like that, no rudder. But it's pretty agile and fun to play with. So from that perspective, yes, good plane. Who's this plane for? So I think all of us have, no matter what skill level you are, let's say you've been flying a while, you have a plane that you like to take to the field just to relax and goof around with. This is one of those, right? Simple to fly. You can hand the transmitter to almost anybody. And even that, guy that shows up the field says, I've never flown before. This would be a fun option. Or a kid, right? It's just a simple plane to fly. So for me, this is the kind of plane I'd keep in the car, just on those what ifs. Or if we were kind of goofing off with small planes, trying to play tag in the air and things like that, absolutely I would take this, because this thing's pretty maneuverable and stable. So from that perspective, I think a beginner or somebody who has a lot of planes and can fly, this is just a fun kind of carry with you all the time kind of plane. All right, so look, if you're interested in this thing, there's a link below, Amazon affiliate link. Click buy now, you'll get it tomorrow. I don't know, maybe you will, maybe you won't. So if you have any questions, leave a comment. Of course, if you like these videos, hit that like button. I do appreciate it, and it helps the channel. Have a great day.